It was supposed to be just another Friday night. Elias Cruz, a struggling journalist from Manila, received a mysterious black envelope slipped under his apartment door. The seal was gold, embossed with a serpent swallowing its own tail. Inside was a single note. "You've been chosen to witness the truth of humanity. Come to the Hillcrest Mansion at midnight. Do not bring anyone. Do not leave until dawn." Elias laughed at first, probably a prank from one of his coworkers, but something about the handwriting, elegant, ancient, made his skin prickle. His curiosity, as always, got the better of him. Hillcrest Mansion stood alone on a cliff overlooking the restless sea. Its walls were dark stone, the windows tall and arched like hollow eyes. The heavy wooden doors opened the moment Elias touched them, as if the house had been waiting. Inside, candlelight flickered along marble halls. 7 chairs encircled a grand dining table, each marked with a gold plate engraved with a name: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. At the head of the table sat a man in a white suit, his eyes sharp as razors, and his smile disturbingly calm. "Welcome, Elias," he said smoothly. "We've been expecting you." "Who are you people?" Elias asked, glancing around as figures emerged from the shadows. 6 more, each beautiful and terrible in their own way. "We," the man said, raising his glass, "are the 7 who guide your kind, the deadly sins." Elias laughed nervously. "Right, and I'm the Tooth Fairy. You may think it's a story, but tonight you will see how true stories bite." Each sin looked human, but not quite. Pride was the man in white, a walking perfection, flawless and cold. Greed, a woman in gold chains and diamonds that glowed faintly, her eyes hollow yet hungry. Lust, a tall figure with androgynous beauty, their voice soft as velvet and gaze too deep to meet. Envy, a green-eyed man with trembling hands and a perpetual sneer. Gluttony, a heavy-set man constantly eating fruit, wine, whatever his hands touched turned into food. Wrath, a muscular woman with fire-tipped hair and eyes like burning coals. Sloth, a pale youth slumped in his chair, barely awake, surrounded by an aura of exhaustion. Elias sat uneasily in the only empty seat. "Why am I here?" he asked. Pride smiled. "Because you, dear Elias, are our favorite experiment. Humanity embodies us, but you in particular carry all 7. Elias frowned. "That's insane." "Is it?" Greed purred, draping her hand over the pile of gold on the table. "You chase stories, not for truth, but for fame." "You crave praise," Pride said. "You envy success," Envy added. "You lose your temper when ignored," Wrath said, smirking. "You indulge in comfort food when stressed," Gluttony laughed. "You desire what you cannot have," Lust whispered. And you delay what you must face, Sloth muttered, yawning. Elias stood up, his heart pounding. I'm not your puppet. No, Pride said. You are our reflection. And the candles blew out. When Elias's vision cleared, he was standing alone in a mirror-filled ballroom. Every reflection showed him, dressed differently, standing taller, stronger, more confident. The voices around him whispered, "You could be great, Elias. You just need to prove you're better than everyone." A gold pen appeared in his hand, a symbol of success. Headlines floated in the air. Elias Cruz wins Pulitzer. Elias uncovers the biggest scandal of the century. But as he stepped toward them, the mirrors cracked. And from the shards emerged Pride, smiling. You seek recognition more than truth. That is your weakness. Elias gritted his teeth. No, I seek justice. Then face it. The mirrors shattered, slicing his arms with invisible glass. When he looked up, the ballroom was gone, and he was back at the table, blood on his sleeve. The others clapped politely. Well done, Lust said. You resisted the easy lie. But Pride merely smirked. For now. Next came Greed. The room transformed into a vault filled with treasures, gold, gems, priceless relics. A voice echoed, Take what you desire. No one will know. Elias walked among the riches, mesmerized. Each coin gleamed like a heartbeat. One artifact caught his eye, a crystal recorder labeled The Truth of the World. If he brought that back, his career would soar. He could expose every lie, every secret. But as he stepped toward them, the walls began to crumble. The floor opened beneath him, swallowing the gold. Greed appeared beside him, smiling cruelly. Everything you take, something else is lost. Then I'll take nothing, he said, pulling his hand away. The vault dissolved, and he was back at the table. Greed's jewels dimmed slightly. Interesting, she murmured. He resists, but not without wanting. The air grew warm, perfumed. The lights dimmed. Lust approached, their steps fluid, eyes gleaming. You deny desire, they said softly, but you crave connection. Elias felt his heartbeat quicken. The figures circled him, whispering his doubts. No one loves you. You chase stories because you're lonely. Let me fill the emptiness. Images flashed, every heartbreak, every failure. His body ached with the longing to be seen, touched, understood. But then Lust leaned close and whispered, You cannot love truth while you worship illusion. That broke him. Elias stepped back. No, I don't need to be desired to exist. Lust's smile faded. They bowed slightly. Then you're stronger than most. Envy's world was green and cracked. He stood on a barren hill watching others climb towers of light, each person representing someone he envied. Successful journalists, happy couples, confident friends. You see them and you shrink, Envy hissed. You curse their luck. Elias shouted, They worked for it. Did they? Or did they just get what you never will? Elias turned, meeting Envy's wild eyes. Maybe they have what I don't, but that doesn't mean I can't make my own light. The green flames died out. Envy staggered, shrinking into shadows. When Elias returned to the table, Envy glared daggers, but said nothing. Now, Elias was in a feast hall, tables overflowing with food, wine, fruit, pastries, meat. His stomach growled. He hadn't eaten all day. Gluttony laughed heartily beside him. "Eat, my friend. You've suffered enough. You deserve comfort." Elias hesitated. One bite couldn't hurt. The moment he did, the food multiplied. Dozens of plates, thousands. He couldn't stop eating. His body grew heavy, his mind clouded. He wanted more, more, more. "See," Gluttony said, "the world feeds you lies because you keep swallowing them." Realizing the truth, Elias dropped the fork. The food turned to ash. He gagged, coughing, until the illusion broke. When he looked up, Gluttony was frowning. "Pity, you could have feasted forever." The walls ignited. Flames danced around him. From the fire stepped Wrath, eyes blazing. "You hate liars. You hate the corrupt, the powerful, the greedy. But tell me, does your anger fix anything, or does it just make you feel alive?" Elias clenched his fists. Anger grabs change. No, anger consumes it. She hurled fire at him. He dodged, screaming as flames licked his skin. Finally, in desperation, he yelled, "I forgive them." The fire stopped. Wrath froze, her eyes softening. Forgiveness is the only fire stronger than rage. She vanished in smoke. Elias collapsed into darkness. He was tired, so tired. Sloth sat beside him, half asleep. "You've done enough. Rest. Let the world fix itself." Elias felt his eyelids grow heavy, his muscles loosened. The thought of surrender was sweet. But then he remembered his mother's words long ago. Rest, but never quit. With effort, Elias stood. "I can rest tomorrow. Tonight, I finish this." Sloth sighed. "Ugh, you ruin everything," and faded away. When Elias opened his eyes, he was back at the dining table. All 7 sins sat silently, watching him. "You faced us all," Pride said, "and yet you live." "So, did I win?" Elias asked, exhausted. Greed chuckled. "No one wins. You simply understand." The room began to tremble. The walls peeled away, revealing a vast mirror reflecting Elias, and behind him the 7 shadows of his own self. "We are not your enemies," Pride said. "We are parts of you. Deny us and you'll fall. Accept us and you may rise." Elias looked at each of them, realizing the truth. Every sin had a mirror virtue. Pride became confidence. Greed became ambition. Lust became passion. Envy became aspiration. Gluttony became gratitude. Wrath became justice. Sloth became rest. "You're not here to destroy me," Elias said softly. "You're here to teach balance." Pride smiled. "Exactly." The candles flickered out, and when they relit, Elias was alone in his apartment, the black envelope on his desk, empty. A week later, Elias published his greatest story. The Seven Shadows Within: How Humanity Battles Itself. It became viral, not for scandal, but for truth. He didn't earn money or fame, but something better: clarity. Every night afterwards, he looked out his window and whispered, "Balance, not denial." And sometimes, faintly, he heard 7 voices whisper back, "We're still here, watching."